Sierra Entertainment presents Time Shift, an intense action-packed first-person shooter for the Xbox 360, PC, and PS3. Armed with the experimental beta suit, you alone are able to slow, stop, and reverse the flow of time. Lead the uprising to victory by mastering time to become the ultimate weapon. Visit www.timeshiftgame.com for more details.
All right, everybody, welcome in. We're getting close to Christmas. This is the One Up Yours show for Friday, December the 14th. I'm Garnet Lee. We've got a good show of pre-holiday party
I was going to
festivities.
say, you can't just say Christmas.
Yeah.
There are multiple holidays, and we
true,
don't want
that's
to
true.
offend our multi-ethnic
Well,
listeners.
all right, so there you go.
My kids celebrate Science Day.
Science Day.
Any Festivus?
Oh, dude, you gotta go for Festivus, right?
The airing of grievances begins now.
Feats of strength.
Excellent. So now you've heard the whole lineup. That's Andrew Pfister across from me, Brian Indahar from EGM.
A.K.A. Fragile Eagle.
Oh, now he's upset.
There he goes. There he goes. He got his little mention, so shut up.
Well, you knew he was going to do it from the pre-show. You knew he was going to do it. He had to do it. He felt compelled.
I hope I can go this whole show and not get loud because I don't need any comments that, oh, Brian's too loud.
Yeah, try to keep it
Hold
down.
on. Keep it down. Hold on. We can boost you up here. We'll just boost you up a little bit. No, there we go.
No, apparently it takes about 3 comments before someone says, oh, Brian, he's too loud.
You're prone to outbursts.
The main thing you have to worry about is the nose breathing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we don't want the nose breathing. So then Andrew Pfister from OneUp.com, Shane Bettenhausen, executive editor from EGM. It's an awesome lineup. So we're going to do like we've been doing the rest of the holidays. We're going to do what you've been playing in the first set, and we probably still have lots of holiday favorites to get through on that. And then in the second segment, we have right here in spreadsheet form the November NPDs.
Yay, numbers.
Yay, numbers. People love it when we talk about it. We have a couple of things to...
Do they?
They do.
Do they?
They do.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Really?
They love numbers.
Too much. Too much, methinks.
Moving on.
Moving right along. And along with that, we have quite a bit of news to cover in the second segment. So let's get this thing going. Who wants to start off with what they've been playing? Shane, that was you.
Nope.
Oh, no.
I want to go last.
I'll go first because I don't really have a whole lot to talk about.
All right, you can go first. I'll go second. Brian will go third. Shane will go last.
I've started 2 games on my pile of shame, but I'm not very far in either of them. Last night I started Mass Effect, which, Brian, I knew that you hate so much.
Yeah, apparently, because of my one-up show segment, I hate, but though I gave it a 9.0. So.
I really like the first 2 hours. I think it's really interesting stuff for 2 hours.
And what do you think of the combat?
Very basic so far.
Don't you love the tutorial? Oh, yeah, that's right. There is none. Yeah.
I kind of like that there's not a tutorial.
Folks, let's not resurrect that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
What does your character look like?
he looks like, I was telling Garnet at lunch, I missed the whole thing with the customization. Somehow I missed, it was like 12 o'clock at night.
You skipped that scene?
I was tired. I must have skipped over the menu option or whatever, and I get to the point where it's like, confirm your character, and it's like Jack Shepard, and it's the guy from the screenshots.
It's like the ethnically ambiguous bald Space Marine?
Yeah, when do I get to the customization? And then I realized that I didn't, and then I played 2 hours, and I don't want to do it again. So I'm just going to play through the way that everyone saw it in the screenshots.
Well, I'll tell you, the comic gets really, really good.
Yeah.
Really, really awesome. I loved it.
I thought we were going down the let's bash the. We're going down the you like the combat angle.
I know I've always loved the combat angle, but because I said I didn't like the side quests, that was the first thing I said. Everybody assumed I gave it a 4.0, and then no one ever remembered that I said it had
really
great graphics. It had awesome combat. I thought the AI was pretty smart on both sides, but apparently that didn't matter.
At the beginning, I'm liking the conversations more than the fighting.
See,
I just think that's really neat the way they do it, and the way they give you the option to select what you're going to say before the other guy's done, so it keeps a kind of a natural flow to it.
I am completely in Andrew's camp on this one. Absolutely. Because to me, the combat was not the strength of the game at all, because the AI of some of the opponents that you face is really rudimentary.
I didn't say that just yet. I've only been in like 4 battles.
You did. You said it.
Yeah.
Have you had any lesbian encounters in elevators?
Not yet. I have not been in an elevator yet. I heard that there's a lot of that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's the get up and go make a sandwich time. PA actually got that part right.
It's not it's not as bad as people say it is, but there are a lot of elevators.
Dude, the elevators are they're the slowest elevators in the world.
I've been in some elevators.
In the future, they have tough times,
That's right. The Normandy does not devote much of its power matrix to the elevator system.
Is that how they hide loading times? Or is it just...
Yeah. So it's kind of cool.
That's fine.
All right.
Another game that I started and can't really talk about very informatively is Zack and Wiki. which I said I would play last
I need to
week.
play that one too.
Which you can talk way more informatively, I think, than any of us can.
I
So-
played the introductory level where you're like in the airplane and you fall out of the airplane and you do the first puzzle, and I already like it, like a lot.
Okay, so back up 100% because I don't even know what Zack and Wiki is. Tell me what it is.
It's a video game.
For what system?
Nintendo. It's for the Nintendo.
It's a puzzle-based video
It's
game.
a puzzle-based video game. Uses unique Wii remote gestures, which are really good.
A
so
lot of
far.
them look like masturbation, at least when they're displayed to you on screen.
Most Wii motions do look.
No,
like
but this game, whenever I
masturbation.
look over, there's like a weird little bald character showing you what to do with the controller, and it usually looks like a fapping motion.
Who knew,
That's
who
not
knew
right.
how many adolescents the Wii would help through puberty?
But I've heard. I mean, I keep hearing everybody who plays this game.
It
really
got a
enjoys
9
it.
on our very own one website.
Okay, so when you say it's a puzzle
Did
game,
it?
Yes.
is it individual puzzle vignettes or is it like an adventure
It's kind of
puzzle
an
thing?
it's an adventure puzzle thing.
Okay, cool.
I think.
So they're environmental adventures or?
Environmental mostly so far. Like I said, I'm on the first.
So, like,
level.
from what little you've played, which is more than any of us, why do you think nobody noticed this game? Is it the characters?
It's the
and
aesthetic.
The aesthetic.
Yeah, it's
Or
not
maybe it's
necessarily
the
the
dumb
characters
name.
because it's also the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's the name and the aesthetic. The wiki is your little monkey helper, and he talks in this goo goo gaga baby voice the entire time. And I'm just
Retard Circus.
gonna go nuts with that. Like it's gonna drive me crazy, but I'm still gonna keep playing it.
Is it a Nickelodeon license? Because it
No,
sounds
no.
like it ought to be a Nickelodeon show, right?
It isn't.
Could be.
No, it isn't.
It isn't.
It
but
is not.
you can kind of
Well,
imagine
and
it.
that's the problem because there is a Nickelodeon game called like Zack and Cody.
Okay. so-
That's real.
And
this
you look
is
at
Zack
like
and Wiki.
you look at the cover art and you hear the name, and that was that was my unfortunate response.
And it's unfortunate that people are gonna probably bypass it.
Every-
because
the
of
every-
this.
But the
everyone
graphics
is-
aren't bad.
Oh no, the graphics are.
Yeah.
The art is great.
Yeah.
It's like Saturday morning cartoon stuff.
Yeah.
Whimsical.
Yeah, whimsical is a good word for it.
So where would you like put it on the spectrum of like what comes to mind for me? Is it like maybe like a Klonoa sort of style whimsical, sort of like
Kind of
Yeah, I think
a
it-
little younger maybe than Klonoa, but
yeah.
it's in the
and
same
not,
family.
Not cell shaded either.
yeah, but I meant just like in that same sort of
It's
family,
the same-
down
yes,
that
yes.
yeah.
down that fantasy / animation cartoon
Saturday
style.
morning cartoon.
Yeah, but not stock Saturday morning cartoon. I mean,
Not,
no.
not the stock kind. No,
No,
Definitely
of
stock.
course not. No.
Jesus Christ,
I don't even know what the heck that means.
But it's kind of sad because no matter what, at
not
this point-
Hanna Barbera.
okay.
Oh no, nothing's that bad.
No matter how much you talk about this game, like it's already kind of over for it though. Like nobody bought it, it never charted. It's sad, very very sad.
Dude, looking at the numbers that the Wii is turning in sales, nothing is over for any of its titles. Any of those games could catch and get back.
If you can find a Wii.
Yeah, well, I mean, but apparently hundreds of thousands of people are. So I think that any game could come back if it gets good buzz. I mean, you could have a slow burn on a game like this.
It is one of those games that really shows how the Wii is awesome, and we haven't seen a whole lot of that yet, but the stuff that we've seen so far, like it's like WarioWare. When you see the glimpses of the concepts, this is the first like full realization of the.
Who developed it?
It was
Capcom.
yeah,
Internally.
internal Capcom.
Yeah, it was-
God, I wonder if I just had this. God, I should stop watching the internet. I really should just turn off the internet.
That'd be great for our line of work. We should do that.
I just had this thought of you said WarioWare, and I suddenly thought, wow, I wonder if we'll have to see the two naked chicks playing this game. You haven't seen that?
Naked chicks playing WarioWare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it, right?
Of course.
You haven't seen this, Andrew.
No.
Yeah, it's
You're
from.
not- you're not-
You're
I
missing
Maybe I
nothing.
should read the
It's-
internet some more.
It's terribly stupid.
Well, the weird code to this whole Zack and Wiki talk is this last week the rumor came out that on a retailer list they saw a listing for Zack and Wiki 2, which seems
awesome.
But it seems very unlikely.
It seems very soon.
Soon and unlikely considering the dismal sales of Zack and Wiki. But you never know. So
So you know what caught me out of this whole conversation about talking about was you saying there at the end that they actually thought about how to use the gesture controls and do something with them, because one of the games I've had to play recently was a lot of Tomb Raider Wii, and
and you're a big Tomb Raider fan.
I love Anniversary. I love the like Stephen Totillo and I talked about that, but shoehorning in the gesture controls to that game was. It's an abortion. It's an absolute
Really?
abortion.
I saw a really bad review and I wondered if that was just like an anomaly for it
That's
actually
just
is.
dumb. There's two things they did. Some of them and they fall into categories. Well, they fall into two categories. One of them, dumb stuff, and
What's an example of a dumb thing?
dumb stuff is all of these archaeologist tools that could have been cool. So, did you ever play? What is it? What's the DS game where you're digging for the stuff in the ground? Spectrobes. Is that it?
I don't know.
There's a DS game that's like There's a DS game like Pokemon where on the touch screen you're having to dig out these ruined old I think it's gene types for like Pokemon type critters. Anyway, the point of this is that when you're digging them out, you actually have to carefully work around them,
Like brush away the debris.
right, brush away the debris, but
All
you're
right.
actually doing something, right? You actually you have to feel, you have to pay attention to how you're brushing it away.
All right.
The way that works in Tomb Raider is you wipe the screen with the Wiimote. You just go back and forth. There's no technique to it. There's
no skill.
There's no skill at all. It's like, why am I even having to bother with this? Oh, and then I make a charcoal rubbing the same way. It's so dumb. But it's just pointlessly wasting my time.
So what about the regular controls? You sound like little puzzles you're running into. You know?
Okay, those are little puzzles you run into, right? So then the second part of it is now you have a game that was set up for being run on 2 sticks,
Right.
but you're having to run it on the Wiimote, so you don't have a second stick for the
Wait,
camera
you know
control.
the nunchuck? It doesn't.
No,
use
you do, but you don't have a second stick, right? So think about the
Right.
way a 3D adventure game goes, where you're always piloting the camera. And I'll give them this: they do an admirably good job with keeping the camera behind you. But there are times when you need to adjust the camera and move, and to do that, you have to hold the C button on the nunchuck and then start directing with the Wiimote. Which I guess that's the way Mario works.
Yeah,
Someone
but
says
luckily,
that Mario
really don't
works.
have
you
that
don't.
much
You don't have to
control.
adjust the
Yeah.
camera that often in Mario. Luckily.
Okay, but in Tomb Raider, you have to do that quite a bit. And then the worst part of time when you have to do that is when you're in combat. Because it does have a camera lock, which is Z, but if you're moving around a lot and the camera's getting out of control, you're like, oh, I don't like where... I mean, you know, you've used camera lock before. You have to adjust.
Right.
So now you're trying to adjust and hit C and move the Wiimote to adjust the camera, but then let go of C so that you can aim with the Wiimote and pull the trigger.
That sounds
and
messy.
It completely falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it completely falls apart. And anytime you're trying to line up a jump, which because of the way they changed things, you know, Tomb Raider used to be very notch and grid based, but now it's actually, you know, very precision alignment based. It's much more difficult when you're trying to fidget with the camera and just use this loose stick in your left hand.
So that is not the version that you recommend.
No.
Who knew playing video games could be so painful?
Yeah, this is not the version you want. Stick with the PS2 version. I mean, God, that's
Or
what,
Xbox 360 is out now as well.
yeah, 360 version's out, but that's just a down port of the PC version. Get the PS2 version.
Or
I mean,
PSP also.
or PSP, yeah. So there's lots of options to play it that are good. Why mess it up with that, right? And if you have a PS3, what you should be playing is what I'm about to just go crazy.
I'm glad
on.
you finally got around to it because when I was playing Uncharted, I knew you were a big Tomb Raider fan.
Oh my God! On that subject,
Yeah, and it seemed like your kind of game.
what's up, Crystal D? Because the bar just jumped again for the next Tomb Raider, and
Ooh.
significantly.
Tomb Raider Underworld.
Significantly, like let's not even start about the.
That leaked.
not even
Brian's like
start.
making all these faces at me.
Right, so-
I read that on the internet.
Must be true.
Must be true.
Let's not even. There's not even that much to say about the graphics engine. If you've seen the screenshots and you've seen the game in motion, you know already that Uncharted looks beautiful. I mean, that's just like price of entry shit now. The jungle and the way the light filters through the jungle, or the way that you're in a darkened area and you're exploring with somebody else, and both of you have flashlights out. Okay, so we've already gotten accustomed to shadows being cast across surfaces, but now if I walk through someone else's light beam, the way the shadow cast and the amount of shadow that's being cast is actually filtered down appropriately, that it makes it so believable. It's so immersive into the environment. That's the graphics engine.
I've gushed about the lighting on that game a lot of times, but really it's the indoor environments where it really shows it off.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But you know what's even more phenomenal? And I thought I was stunned when I watched my receiver switch not to Dolby Digital, but to DTS. And like, I know it's like
You don't have a
huge deal.
7.1 setup, do you?
No, I have 5.1,
Okay.
but I have a good 5.1. And when it switched to DTS, I was like, wait, I don't remember a game that ever went to DTS, and it's just like that extra little tweak, like especially on the way the LFE, the way the low frequency stuff is incorporated. It sounds so much like you're watching a movie.
Yeah, and I think
the soundtrack,
I like the mix of the music too. It's very subtle. It comes in and like. Yeah, it's good stuff.
the mix of the music, the voice work is excellent in the game. Through every character, not only is the voice work excellent, but the dialogue is really good.
See, I need to go back to that game about halfway through, but I was a little disappointed by the story in what I played. I thought there'd be more of it. I don't know.
I think
Is it kind of like a loose framework for your adventures?
no, not at all. There's definitely a story.
I mean,
to it.
there's a story, but like the way it's told, it kind of comes at you very naturally. They don't like.
That's good though,
Well,
right?
it's not what we're used to seeing in video games.
No, I think that this actually has elevated it quite a bit because it's just naturally
Yeah, I
coming
mean,
to
Is
you.
it in-game story stuff or cutscenes?
No, well,
both.
I believe the cutscenes are engine. Are they engine?
They're all
They're
in-
engine, but maybe like with a filter applied over to make them look
yeah,
better.
they're an engine, but I don't know. I like the story, but I said it's a little mundane. The whole thing.
It's a little mundane. See,
whole
now,
thing.
now I think you hit the right word
Yeah.
there. The one thing I would say is that it's like every sort of without spoiler, every sort of pirate island adventure or movie you kind of imagine. Right.
Yeah, but that's what they were going for. Like they've said that since day one, that was their source material. They were going for that, and they were just doing their own little spin on it. So
and they parked it. I would say they absolutely out of the park did. So, I mean, I have here's some notes because I think that a lot of that has to do with the game director. It's Amy Hennig, and she's done all kinds of awesome stuff before. And on N-Guy's blog, Level Up, about a week ago, he did an interview with her. And I'm just going to throw out, it's like she distilled some stuff. I'm a big action-adventure fan. So she's distilled some stuff that I've thought about many times into 5 bullet points that a good action-adventure does. Gives you the urge to explore. It has a cohesive game world, has attention to detail. It actually makes you think in the game, and by makes you think doesn't have some grand stuff, but when you're doing puzzles or whatever, that you actually have to put some attention into it. And it has a compelling story and characters.
Well, I've got to interview her at least 3 times in the last year since they finally started showing Uncharted, and she's by far one of the smartest people I've ever met in the industry. She really, really knows her stuff. She plays a lot of games just besides the ones she's making. She's an awesome interview.
I haven't asked for people to be on the show, but I would love to have her on the show.
She's great.
I would really love to have her on the show.
I first interviewed her when she first went to Naughty Dog years ago, and I was really impressed by her.
She's the one that helped turn around Jack. Because Jack 2 was kind of rough, and she helped with Jack 3.
A little bit better.
I was going to say, I reviewed Jack 3.
You gave it an 8. So don't say it wasn't
better
good.
than 2.
Yeah.
It was better than 2.
Yeah, so don't say that.
We'll agree about that.
It was good. And I think this one is it's really, really good. When I saw it in August, I got to finally play more of the combat, which was much better than the early versions, which it was awful.
Right.
So how did the combat turn out?
So compared to the combat that I played at E3 was night and day. What they really settled in on is a slower pace, focused completely on taking cover and very much like the kill switch sort of combat.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention to that, then it's fine. I would say that if we're going to talk about knocks, one of the knocks I do have is that it gets a little it kind of breaks the illusion some in that the combat sections that hold together the parts you're going to remember sometimes get in these waves of spawning enemies, and the time when you get to the 3rd spawn in the same spot, you're like, okay, this is a video game. Yeah. All right. Oh, wow, there's going to be another group of guys coming over the wall over there.
Because I like to play these kind of games and find my own approach to combat. And very quickly in this game, I realized, okay, this is not a game where I find my own approach to combat. This is where I give in to what the game wants me to do, and I play the game the way it's supposed to be played.
Play it like Gears.
Right, but
you play it like Gears.
Yeah,
you go to
whenever you see cover. Oh, that's there for a reason. You're supposed to go behind it and shoot people from it. Every single time.
Go to the pieces of stone and take cover behind them, and use the circle button to roll from one to the next.
I would have liked other options. I would have liked for you have more hand-to-hand options that were effective.
What do you mean? I use hand-to-hand a lot.
Yeah,
I find it almost unusable because I get shot.
Really?
As soon as I start punching someone, I get shot. Because you're not facing one enemy at a time. There's always other guys around.
No, but
they'll shoot you.
If you use it tactically, you can actually. So, for
I have
instance,
trouble using it tactically.
Just take cover and take out a couple of guys, and then sneak around from cover to cover and isolate one dude, and then you can use a takedown.
Well, and as you get better weapons, it's like I find myself not even thinking about punching people anymore.
Well, one thing you're not going to be able to do later, like about 2 levels ahead of where you are, is just sit and cover. The combat gets much more frantic, which has been one of the complaints.
The enemy types change halfway through the game, right? To be tougher enemies.
It's maybe 2/3 way through the game, but they get pretty hardcore. So I mean, there's a lot of shooting action too. So this is something Andrew and I were talking about, is that I think that these games, you have 2 parts to them. You have the part where you're doing the stuff that's the standout moments you're going to remember, the vistas, the dramatic moves, the jump off of the falling bridge, the amazing
the vehicle scenes,
those amazing pieces, right? And those are the standout memories. So then what do you do the rest of the game to keep people engaged with the game and moving? Because you can't just have a bombardment of action like that. And where some games have fallen apart, particularly middle of the road Tomb Raiders, is that part became boring. You were just wandering through.
See, I like
halls.
the quiet parts in Uncharted actually. Yeah.
When the quiet parts are never too long, and then they're punctuated with some shooting and some action, and they keep you going. And then when you actually get to the big piece, it's right there, and you're like, wow.
Right, and whenever there's a jumping puzzle, that's always a quiet part, more or less, and that's good.
Well, right,
it's kind of like action movie pacing. It's the same.
It is action. That's
you need time to rest.
That's a great comparison.
And time to take a break and stress down a little bit,
because otherwise you don't get the high points, right?
So do you feel that everyone's sleeping on Uncharted still?
Man, you know what? I'll tell you this. It is absolutely my favorite PS3 game of the year. It's in my top 3 games of the year.
Wow.
And it might even be my number 2 game to BioShock of the year. I really like. I've liked a lot of games I played this year, Call of Duty and Half-Life and Portal. But
Prey
this
this year, or was
game,
that last year?
this game so speaks to me when I play it.
He
It's
didn't
just,
give Prey a good score.
I'm just skipping past it. He loves to dog me about Prey.
What'd you give it?
A 9.
Prey was like 5 years ago.
Oh,
that was a long time ago.
that's right. He did give Prey. That's right.
He's dogging me for giving it a 9.
I'm just joshing.
I know. Anyway, I just love it. I totally love the game. The only other knock I have about it is that you like the wall climbing stuff, and I think the wall
I do,
climbing.
yeah.
I think it breaks. Like everything else is so, it feels so right. And my buddy Kynan pointed out to me how he moves like a monkey, and now all I can see is a monkey when he moves because
Really?
he moves a little bit too fast. He moves a little too fast. He's a little too, loosey goosey with the movement, and it makes him feel a little like Symbian.
Now I'm interested for you to get to Assassin's Creed and what you think of the climbing there.
I'm dying to get to Assassin's Creed. I told you
the
it's-
climbing
That's
in
what I'm
Assassin's
going to play this
Creed.
weekend. I'm going to play it.
The climbing in that game is excellent.
So don't worry, fans. That will be coming next. So anyway, if you have a PS3, go freaking buy Uncharted now. And if you haven't gotten it, then
I concur.
you're the only one you can blame on that one.
That's my next game to play after I finish Mass Effect. How long was Mass Effect?
20 hours? That's what I heard.
You can do it less than that, way less than that. If
Wait, are you going to do
if
side quests or are you going to bomb through it?
I don't know if the game encourages me to do side quests.
Then you'll go over 20 plus. But if you're not, you can get through it in 14, 15 hours.
I'm gonna have to reformulate
Jeremy
my
just
plan.
finished, and he did it in like 42, I think.
He's a completist.
Yeah, he is a completist. He's a completist. He did it like in 42, 45, something like that.
I know, I didn't see many, advantages to doing the side quests, so I didn't do them.
So that's kind of the sad thing, right? And that was one of the things one day I'd like to follow up with them about, especially like Casey, is the promise was that the side quests would be so much a part of fleshing out the rest of the story, and instead
False.
they're just like
Yeah, and
they're cookie
I
cutter.
also heard you can explore like 5 billion planets too.
That's another thing I wanted to talk about. Like, it overwhelms you with information at first.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it kind of
It's very
kind of
BioWare in that
eases you
regard.
into the story. But the first thing you do is look at your codex and your journal, and you're reading all these timelines and these stories, and it's the very like sci-fi like names have 2 apostrophes and 1 vowel, and
Yeah.
you have absolutely no idea how this relates to anyone.
But don't you I definitely liked Mass Effect story and all the kind of back stuff, but didn't sometimes you feel like you had to work too hard to learn what was going on? Like, to really... I sometimes just want to sit back,
Yeah.
relax, and watch a cool cutscene.
I am still pretty early, and it did eventually start relating the names and places to Shepard, like his involvement with the coups or whatever, and then like, oh, that makes sense in the timeline now. So it'll slowly reveal itself to me, but it just kind of overwhelmed at first.
Yeah. But it is, as you play, it gets even cooler. So
Yeah, I'm looking
it's more
forward to it. I'm looking forward to
awesome
learning
story.
about it.
It's really cool.
So, G-Man, are you playing anything that doesn't involve raiding tombs?
That'll be like the other testament to how much I like this game. It is the only thing I have played since I started playing it on Friday night last week. And dude, I'm like,
You didn't go back to Tomb Raider after starting Uncharted?
no, Tomb Raider finished. I did it for review.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did. So that was I had to play it sort of thing. But I mean, on my own time, I have not picked up anything else. All I can do is
I thought you played a college basketball game in the last week.
No, that was 2 weeks ago.
okay.
But we did
I'm
play.
surprised
College
you didn't-
basketball's out. Do we want to?
No.
Surprised I didn't want.
Not really. We
Yeah,
don't.
I don't-
Which one's better? You can say that. Right.
Overall, 2K8's getting better. I scored,
But it's close.
EA's game a half point higher.
He and I sort of disagree, but not a ton.
But it kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, they both are
You're a sports anomaly.
above average.
Is there like a really dedicated group of people who love college basketball games? I know there's a college
Yeah,
football
they're
contingent.
from my hometown. Like
the Kentucky.
where I'm from in Kentucky.
Wildcats.
When
Yeah,
when
you know
college
what?
basketball came out, we had like 200
I
people
think
lined
it's
up.
like it's not even. I mean, like you saw, the college football game sells over 1 million copies without a doubt, and but the basketball is just not there yet. I mean, you can tell like that. At least EA, they treat their college football game just as high as a Madden, like in terms of AAA
Finally.
quality.
Yeah.
Well, they always kind of have. I mean, when I say 5-6 years,
It used to have the year before's engine.
Several years
yeah,
ago,
I mean,
it did.
still, but I'm saying overall, compared to all college games, it's definitely the highest one. Where I feel like 2K and EA, that's definitely the subpar game compared to the pro game.
like
It's very obvious.
It's the minor league development team.
The main. No, actually, it's weird because I think some of the guys that work on EA's college basketball game are very talented and should be responsible for making.
No, the basketball game I'm thinking about is that, no, it's a football game, NFL Tour. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what you guys have been playing, right? No?
Yeah, we're reviewing it right now. We can't talk.
We're
about
doing the
it.
pre-
We can talk a little bit about it. People play preview builds.
Yeah, it needs some work.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'll say right now.
Talk about it later.
Yeah,
That would be with the capital S.
yeah.
I think the thing that's interesting about the college games versus the pro games is that the college football game gets a lot of attention, but I could make an argument that as far as college to pro sports go, that college basketball is much more important to the basketball world versus NBA than college football is to NFL. Because both footballs are really popular, but there's a big audience that swears by college basketball.
I agree.
Look what happens around March Madness every year.
Yeah, but do they swear by college basketball games?
That's just it. They don't. It hasn't caught. That connection hasn't happened.
Yeah, I mean, because you even see how people react around like the March Madness time during the tournament, and you would think like there'd be so many people going about buying these games, but they just don't. Which is
people
really weird.
They bring televisions to their work. You see televisions on every restaurant or bar you go to. It's like you go to like the snack stand and there's a dude with a television on. He's watching.
Here's another thing: is that when you're playing a college football game, you can't see their face.
Yeah,
you can't see what these guys look like. But a college basketball game, like they can't do the likeness because of the whole NCAA violations and stuff like that. So there's a disconnect there.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, EA does a really good job of making the guys look like their real life counterparts, like just by their body proportions and what their kind of the extra gear they have on. But you don't have to worry about their face because it's not important in a football game. They're wearing a helmet. But in basketball, you want to see what you want kind of like an actual representation of the real thing. But they get in trouble by the NCAA if they model the guy right after the real guy because they're like, well, you don't have the right to do that. You can't even use their name. So I think there's a little more of a disconnect there.
I've always just wondered about that as the reviews editor for like 4 years. Like, oh, who's buying the college basketball games?
I mean, I think it's there with maybe with the hockey games, like in terms of how many they're selling.
I think it has regional popularity.
Yeah.
Well, I would agree with that definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine the ACC states. College basketball games probably sell like crazy. All right. So anyway, that's all I've been playing. You were going to ask me one other question, but I was going to give you the floor.
I'm surprised you didn't you found a way to finagle Gran Turismo Prologue.
Yeah,
because you're such a driving guy.
I know. Like I assumed someone else was importing it, and like remember 2 days ago I was like, do I have to import this? I thought someone else was going to import it, and I don't want to download it because the disc version allegedly has more content.
We are getting the disc version.
All right.
I'm going to be out of town over this weekend, so I probably won't be the first person to get my hands on it, but I will definitely be bringing opinions on it for sure. But I love that stuff. You know what I found out? This got me completely geeked out. And I was going to save this for later because I saw it in a UK website. They're going to have do you guys know what Top Gear is? The show. There's you know the show
on GTTV.
So they're gonna have not only have Top Gear on GTTV in the game, they're gonna have the test track from Top Gear in the prologue so that you can play the Stig and do test runs on it. The Stig is the guy who goes out and drives the crazy cars on their test track. That is so cool. I cannot wait to do that. Like I will go nuts picking cars and driving them around the Top Gear test track.
Early reports from GT Nuts who have imported it is that they really, really enjoy it. That it's good.
It's too bad Sony couldn't get that out here for this holiday.
No, I don't think it's so bad. I think it's a decision they made, and it's a weird decision.
Yeah, I think if
just Japan got it, that's fine. But no, Japan and Europe got it. We're the only major territory that didn't get it.
And it needs help bad. I don't understand why it would push hardware. It would totally push hardware.
It's baffling.
Well, don't you think that maybe they made that decision to protect some of the other titles they wanted to do well at retail?
Yeah, but I think what happened is people bought Gran Turismo, and they went and got PS3. They would have started maybe buying Uncharted and buying Ratchet and buying some of the other. It would have been like
So you're taking the half full side. The half full side is you sell more hardware by putting it out there, and then those people buy more games.
I mean, look how popular Gran Turismo is here. It's ridiculous.
One of the new theories bouncing around is that maybe the demo for Prologue will appear on Christmas, and that the demo and that the home beta will appear on Christmas. We're hoping. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean they really
count that's happening.
If you want to make the comparison for people who don't know, the demo of Prologue has been out in Japan. And not only has it been out in Japan, but they did a very cool thing during the Tokyo Motor Show where they were simultaneously unveiling real models on the show floor and those models in the game, like lifting the drape off the car, and they lifted the drape off the car in the game at the same time.
That's cool.
Which is really cool. Imagine if you could do that. I mean, of course.
It's a stunning game, especially like the cockpit mode. If you've seen the game being played in that mode, it's crazy.
And I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but we do have big auto shows coming up in the United States.
I'm sure it'll be there.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of co-marketing agreement and see the demo come out and sort of similar things done.
Well, I think that their relationship with car manufacturers is going to be something that we'll see in this product.
I mean,
it's special.
They've done that in the
it's
past.
special.
There have been special versions of Gran Turismo 4 only available at car dealerships in America.
Like when we were at TGS, the stuff that Yamauchi-san talked with me about was just amazing. The dude has so much ideas about. He's so into the car scene, and not just like everything from racing to under the hood to driving, and he wants to like bring that. He wants to be able to bring that to everyone, anywhere, no matter where they are, as long as they have a PS3 in his game, and that's really cool.
So, B, what are you playing?
You know, I'm kind of like Skip over here. I've just been trying to catch up on stuff.
A lot of catching up.
Sampling.
And I mean, I actually been really busy with a feature, so I haven't really been able to play as much stuff in my free time. But I can't stop playing Mario. I think Mario is.
I'm happy you're finally into it. How many stars do you have?
I have like 50.
You're almost there.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm like, it's one of those games where I love the fact that I can pick it up for 5 minutes and you just get it one quick star, or I can sit there for 3 hours and just really crank away. And
That's what's been.
So I'm curious, where do you put Mario?
Galaxy?
Where do you put Galaxy versus the other games you really liked this year? How do you weigh this versus Mass Effect?
It was weird. Okay, so we've
Bioshock.
talked about Game of the Year many times around the office, and I thought, okay, before I played Mario, it was going to be Bioshock or Orange Box. You guys all know I became like the biggest Half-Life, true Team Fortress fan in the world.
You're like born again.
Yeah, like I always joked about like what was I doing for all those years?
You missed Greg Ford and Brian Natar facing off in the Team Fortress versus Halo battle.
I didn't say Team Fortress is better than Halo. I just said it's like the game that I wish more people were playing online. That's all I said.
Then Halo.
Yeah, whatever. And
Get a PC.
Yeah, I know.
2,100 and something servers yesterday night when I was playing.
I know. So, but I finally played Mario, and so I say before I played Mario, it was definitely Bioshock or Orange Box. I just thought, I was like, there's no other way. And I played Mario, and I'm like, takes Orange Box out of the way.
But did you feel like the same way I did, that you kind of resent it for making you love Wii again? Like while I was playing it,
I know.
I was like, why can't other games be like this on Wii?
But it made me think that once again, I'll be playing the Wii 3 to 4 times a year for their 4 games they make that I really care. And you know what? That's fine with me. I have my PS3, I have my 360, and I'll play my Nintendo player 4 times a year.
Yeah, like when I'm done with Mario and when I'm done with Zack and Wiki, it's a long wait until Smash Brothers.
Not that long.
It'll be February.
It'll seem long.
And it'll be February, and then it'll be maybe Mario Kart in the spring, summer, which I still think will come out later than we think.
There's always everyone votes.
Oh, Wii Fit.
So I mean, I think what made me realize that I'm okay with just playing this system once a quarter, and that's fine, and I'll have a good time for a couple weeks. But Mario is amazing. It delivered on everything. I think it's nice to see a game that's designed for the Wii remote and the nunchuck from the ground up. I know you don't like the graphics so much as I do.
You got a lot of undeserved hate for not liking the graphics. I can see where you're coming from on some of the stuff. The art is great, the colors are great, but the graphics themselves are spotty.
Well, and I think we've gotten so accustomed to Wii games looking like complete garbage that you forget that GameCube games look pretty good. And like when you go back and play Mario Sunshine, you're like, wait a minute, this only looks incrementally worse than what I'm playing in Mario Galaxy.
I agree with you, but I will say, like, I can imagine this game looking as good as Ratchet. I mean, could you imagine having Ratchet's engine?
But I mean, the graphics don't matter. Like I gave Mario a 10. Do I wish it looked like Bioshock? Yes.
The gameplay is unbelievable. It just, from level design to controls, it's just. I mean, it is a 10, no doubt. I mean, it is so much fun. And then it does the 2-player thing where as much as you want to have 2.
You're not really playing it much. You should get your wife to grab that Wiimote, dude.
That's not going to happen.
Seriously,
that's not going to happen.
You should try.
I got her. She watches sports. That's all. I got my one. All right, so that's fine. All right, but like, it at least gives you the option to have a second player do something.
Yeah, I think co-star mode is really underrated around here.
No, I agree. I mean, I tried it out with you the other day, and it's pretty fun. I mean, I remember I was knocking enemies over, and I was getting into it. So, but yeah, Mario. I mean, I'm right now really struggling between BioShock and Mario for Game of the Year. There's nothing close for me in terms of those 2 games by far. And I can't believe I don't even play my Wii much, but I might choose a Wii for the best game.
How
of the
did
year.
I not know you were such a big BioShock? guy?
Because I don't know. I think is I like BioShock when it was first shown. Like I feel like I was one of the first guys like saying, guys, pay attention to this game, not to like toot my own horn.
He was not a bandwagon jumper.
No, I mean like
It's on the ground floor.
Ironically, so I was at the 2K booth at E3, and they're like, I was seeing The Darkness, and they're like, oh, come see this game, BioShock. It'll be pretty good. I'm like, oh, all right. And I walked. I mean, I knew about it, but I was like, I just saw some
It's like
images.
you're like a PC.
I was like, yeah, the System Shock guys, all right, whatever. And I walked in, I was like, I went from like not even planning on writing about this in EGM to like making it one of the lead games in our E3 feature and giving it the highest score. It was awesome. And then I saw it at Exo 6 later. I was like, oh my god, this is just amazing, and I was sold on it. I think it's really awesome. I can't wait to see what Ken Levine and those guys do next. So I'm torn. But it's definitely for me, at least personally for me, it comes down to those two games.
I'm going to have to play Mario to be intelligent.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You have to play Mario.
Play Mario just to make your life better.
See, this is the point where not personally owning a Wii is one of those, every so often where I feel left out.
They had them on Amazon the other day. I was going to buy one, and then I realized I already have a Wii. But the fact that it was in stock on Amazon, I almost clicked it. I was, wait a minute, I already have a Wii.
I actually clicked the link. By the time I clicked the link, it was already gone.
Oh.
So I was
at
Amazon, I would have gotten
I should have
one.
bought it. I would have given it to you.
It's crazy. Anyway.
Is that all you're playing, Big?
Yeah, it's all really. I mean, I'm reviewing NFL Tour, and I mean, like, I'm looking forward to the next couple weeks.
Are you playing FIFA Tour? Or
not FIFA 3, not yet.
Okay.
So, I mean, next couple weeks, I'm going to catch up. I'm going to finally play Uncharted. I'm going to try Assassin's Creed because of all the
Definitely try it.
all the talk around the office. And then I'm lucky enough to be able to play Devil May Cry soon. So.
Oh God! Now that I'm jealous of because I love Devil May Cry.
And all I'm gonna say is I get to play it because I haven't played it yet. So I mean, I saw it like a month ago, and they brought it in. It looked. I was on the One Up Show talking about it. I think it looks phenomenal.
Like I cannot say the words Devil May Cry without getting a smile, just because I always have had so much fun playing the game.
What about Devil May Cry 2?
I skipped that one. I only
That's
skipped
the only one I've played.
I only skipped it because I was
My only
warned.
worry is the difficulty because they've gone so up and down in the last couple iterations,
Right.
whether it being too easy, too hard. That's my only worry, whether it's going to be tuned right.
Maybe we should do this for the sports show. But has anyone around? You're actually the only person I know that asked. Have you known of anybody who's done the multiple players on a team EA sports game stuff?
Zuniga does. Todd Zuniga does that stuff.
And is it working? Is it fun?
Like for
that would be,
FIFA,
yeah.
like FIFA, yeah, it works.
I heard
Yeah,
FIFA.
he really likes it. Yeah,
Where you're always playing one position?
Yeah,
Right, where you play
really,
one position.
It's funny. Todd, people may know, he's a big Winning 11 fan, and he was like, I'm not, FIFA's not for me. Finally, this year, something happened, and one of the features was that you get to play, as that one position.
I reviewed FIFA this year. And that was my favorite mode. That was my favorite part of it. 'Cause it really felt like I was back in high school playing right fullback
I think
letting goals in.
That mode works better on soccer than it would like baseball or football.
It works for hockey.
It works for
for soccer and maybe baseball.
No, but like
basketball.
You're like left field.
Basketball, yeah, basketball.
Come on, it totally.
How fun is it to play left field in baseball?
Baseball's kind of too slowed for that to.
Yeah, it's true. So I'm wrong.
Or it's
So
like,
basketball.
I'll play as the kicker in Madden. It's gonna be great.
But football, I mean, we've done it. I mean, you saw first-person football.
Yeah, football doesn't work.
awful.
But like soccer, especially basketball, especially, just sounds like it would be really cool. I was hoping to have someone like say, "Yeah, I've done it. It was good," or "Yeah, I did it." And
Well, Todd's done it. I mean, I know Todd for sure, and he really dug it. So yeah, it works.
Which brings us to Senor Bettenhausen.
Well, the first thing I spent the most time playing this week is a broken record, which is Burnout Paradise.
I was playing
now
that, I think.
everybody can play it because there's a demo out on both PSN and Xbox Live,
Which you should get
which you should
because
get.
it does include multiplayer. You can pull friends into it
Yes, you can.
with quick play, which is awesome. Like major
demo?
Yeah.
major ups to EA for including.
Well, it's a big part of the game.
Doesn't matter because you got to get to the point where you can imagine those arguments around that. Oh, we can't give them that, then they won't buy the game.
Well, they're only giving you a little tiny chunk of the city.
It doesn't
Right.
exactly. It's still
But
good.
this is one of the first games where the barrier between single player and multiplayer is erased. I mean, it's the same game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all happening and in the same place. Everything carries over.
Not everything. The modes.
Well, the mode, yeah.
Some of the modes.
Some of the modes don't, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
but we'll get into that later.
We talk about that on the One Up Show, which comes out today.
Oh yeah, so you can hear all of us talking at length about Burnout Paradise on the One Up Show.
So the PS3 and 360 versions.
I played them both.
Big difference between the two, or what is the difference?
There are no big differences. They're feature complete. They play the same. They look very similar. The PS3 version looks slightly better.
What about like the iToy or the USB camera?
Works the same.
Same
I mean,
thing.
you have to use the Xbox Live Vision camera for 360. You can use any USB camera on PlayStation 3. But yeah, I've played them both, and it's a very very similar experience.
You can't go
Is
wrong.
the Xbox Live camera any good?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as it's better than probably about the same as iToy, but not as good as PSI.
Yeah, the PSI is really good, right?
Yeah, PSI is really
Yeah.
good. But yeah, Burnout. If you've played Burnouts, if you liked Burnouts, if you ever liked Burnouts, you should be incredibly excited about this game. You should pre-order it today.
Agreed.
Agreed.
So Steven Totillo says you're fucked.
With
Burnout.
what do you mean?
Totillo, he aims me the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing Paradise." I'm like, "Okay, cool, it's awesome." He's like, "I don't get it."
Does he like Burnout?
Yo, he loves, and that's just
Well,
it.
yeah,
Does he have a soul?
Well, no, it's weird. And seeing some of the reactions today to the demo, there were people out there who are like, "Oh, they ruined it." I'm like, "Are you retarded?"
That's Totillo right there.
I mean, it is when you get thrust into this world. And at first you think, I'm used to having a directed experience. Like, why am I not being directed? Like, I'm lost. What am I doing? But then you realize that just exploring the world at your leisure is incredibly fun and engaging. And then when you get a hang of, okay, here's how to actually progress through the game.
Right.
And it unfolds in a weirdly natural way.
I can understand people's dislike of the new Showtime mode instead of the
Yeah,
stunt mode.
that I can see. But the basic game, I think the pacing is so alien to what you're used to in racing games and in Burnout that there's a barrier, and you have to kind of get over that. But for me, I got over it in like 5 minutes.
I got over it quick too.
Okay,
It's
I
weird.
argued with him for about an hour on AIM, so since you guys will probably take the same stance, I'll take his stance, just so you can hear the argument.
Garnet taking
It's-
devil's advocate, never
it's-
heard of such a thing.
It's like you said, it's boring. Not only is it non-directed, there's just nothing to do, and I never know where the events start. And then when I
Yeah.
do start the events,
What?
because
Okay.
it's
All right.
it's wide open, sometimes the AI works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they just get lost and they have no race.
All right,
with me.
Steven, here's some tips.
What?
Here's some tips. Okay, there's tons of incentives to not do events. There's like over 300 or 400 different targets to find on the map, and when you find them, it marks them off, and you get achievements for that. And
Yeah, but why do I want to follow them? I mean, what is
Why
that?
do you want to find these
Why do I
things?
want to find
Because
them?
they're usually linked to shortcuts and jumps.
Yeah, they're like super fun to find. Like all those things to find, like the barriers to break, the billboards, the super jumps, all fun. All of them, okay? And it's not hard to find an event. They're at every single intersection in the entire city. Every
Yeah, but
intersection has an event.
there are all these weird point-to-point races, and they don't have any circuit races at all anymore.
Circuit races, who needs them? I don't know. There are other complaints.
That wasn't the strongest defense in the world, was it?
And the AI...
Did Revenge have a whole lot of circuit races?
Not
I
a whole
remember
lot
just,
of
like point to point. in
yeah,
Revenge.
but not a whole
I
lot of
prefer
them.
point-to-point races to circuit races. Who likes
It's better in Burnout for point to point.
Yeah.
because it's more frantic. Like, gotta get there first. Gotta get there first. Gotta get there first.
And the AI is brilliant. It's the most aggressive AI I've ever seen in a racing game. And some people, sometimes they fuck up. They take weird. They get lost. And like the little DJ Tomica, he'll tell you, hey,
Yeah.
don't follow the guy in front of you. He doesn't necessarily know where he's going.
Oh, that's cool.
Steven's
That's really
complaints
cool.
are weird because I haven't noticed any of them.
Like
How
I
about,
said,
how about this Showtime mode?
No soul.
I don't get.
Oh, the Showtime
I
mode?
don't get it at all. It's not the crash mode. I love
not-
crash
It is
mode.
not the
It is
crash
not the
mode.
crash mode.
It's kind of a we need something kind of like a crash mode to make people happy. that
Yeah, it's
there
kind
is
of a
sort
time-wasty minigame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But every intersection has one, so how can
Yeah.
it be? It's like obviously a big deal. It's just a waste.
It's not a waste.
I've met people who really enjoy it.
It'll be.
Do you think they just couldn't figure out how to put crash mode in an
No,
open
Alex
world
Alex
environment?
Ward came out and said he felt like you already did it and didn't want to redo the same thing again.
It'll be more fun when you're playing online because then you can kind of outdo each other.
Okay, I can't stand this argument anymore. I think Showtime's totally fucking cool. Showtime is awesome. Showtime.
I like
is,
how you broke character.
Not Weird
Showtime-
Devil's advocate.
Showtime is like, yeah, because you guys are you're not feeling Showtime. Showtime's cool
It's
because
okay. I don't.
I like
hate
it, but I really like Crash Mode.
I really like the preset
Yeah.
puzzle aspects of Crash
Well, and
Mode.
my big deal is I feel that everything is in place to where if they wanted to put Crash Mode in later as a DLC, they could.
that's possible. The thing for me is that Showtime feels like Tony Hawk with a car. It's like you're chasing.
It feels. It felt to me kind of like Katamari Damacy with a car.
Okay, maybe that, but there's a little more of a combo,
It's a
like
random-
an active
it's a
combo
random
mode to it,
combo
right?
element.
And as long as you can keep that car bouncing off of other cars down the street, it's freaking amazing how far you can go with it. The thing about it is that the challenge is not just getting to like 500,000 or a million. The challenge is like getting to several million
Yeah.
points and super
I
chaining.
think the challenge is going to be beating your friends online.
Yeah, that
in
too.
the same.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's not going to be that much fun. You're going to get tired of it quickly playing by yourself. stuff. Like races are more
Yeah,
interesting.
I can see that.
But online, it's going to be better.
Online competing, especially the way it like posts scores, and one of the things that's cool about online is that it's going to be constantly shoving stuff up on your screen, like Andrew just set a new Showtime record at Pine and Branch.
Yeah.
He got 5 million points.
That's cool.
It's also constantly going to be shoving photographs of genitalia in your face. I already know, like, as cool as those burnt revenge pics are, it's
I like how your examples have shifted from flipping someone off to full-on genitalia.
the more I think about it, the more it's going to be genitalia.
Yeah.
He's going to actually Polaroid his cock so he can just hold it straight up to the camera and not have to be,
No,
on
I'm
the
going to be
spot.
playing on 360. You'll probably play on PS3, so I won't have to see that.
I didn't say I'm doing it. I'm saying that you're going to see that from other people. Okay, I'm
other
also.
people.
What else was I playing this week? I finally got my feet on Wii Fit at long last.
You actually played it?
Yeah, I actually played it.
Are we going to use it as a sobriety test tonight?
Yes,
I thought that was a pretty funny idea.
we're going to.
I feel like I'm the only person in the office who likes Wii Fit. Everyone else is
No,
like,
I said the other day, unironically, I'm probably going to buy this and use it. And
yeah,
enjoy
like
it.
everyone, like I go in there and I see people like sitting on a couch cheating while playing Wii Fit.
Is it the
No, I
death
think
of
they were
gaming?
doing that to see if you could break it.
Well, no, of course you can. Like, and of course you can cheat at Wii Fit, and everyone's like, "Oh, you can cheat at Wii Fit." I'm like, you're only cheating yourself, retard. It's like, come on, like,
I think you're all
Hi,
cheating
welcome to
yourself. You should
Griefer
just go to the
World.
gym. I think you guys should all cheating yourself and just go to the gym.
I have a gym membership, but I haven't gone in like a year.
Ryan, you haven't played Wii Fit. Don't judge. All right?
Okay.
I've seen people play it. I just rather go to the
10
gym.
seconds. What? How are they cheating it?
They were like they were sitting down. In fact, I won't even say who it was, but they were eating a Big Mac while playing.
Shut up. That's awesome.
Sitting on it, 'cause, like, adjusting their feet, like doing the aerobics or whatever, but sitting down. And like, it doesn't know if you're standing up or sitting down.
That's a great ad. We should film that as like a funny parody ad.
Yeah. So if you're not taking it seriously, of course,
Now the thing is, he or she still loses weight. Then that thing is a success.
I believe they were
story.
gaining weight. But and I'm not a big fan.
That's a one-up show segment right there.
And I'm not
That's like a
saying
special report.
I'm not saying I love.
2020 style.
Oh my God! It's Wii Fit, the biggest loser.
Okay, I'm not condoning Pilates or yoga, any of that. I like the mini games. I think like the sporty mini games are really fun, and I like it. I like Wii Fit. I think it's fun. All right.
I'm not surprised. It looks interesting. I know I'm not going to say anything bad about it because I haven't spent any time messing with it. It looks interesting.
But now that I've played it, I also realize there is a lot of localization, more than I thought. There's tons of voices, and like the Wii Fit balance board, there's like this little anthropomorphic version of him that talks to you all the time in a super high-pitched Japanese voice. And I was like,
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, yeah, there's a lot of localization for this.
we also had like Billy. What's that guy's name? The guy does
Billy
Tybo.
Banks?
Is that the Tybo dude?
Billy Banks or whatever.
That would be great.
Get Richard Simmons.
All right,
in there.
and last, and certainly not least,
Yes.
early this morning I began playing Devil May Cry 4, and I can't really talk much about it because it's still a ways off. But
Yep.
What is it? February?
it's
January?
February
It comes out in
7th.
February.
Not soon enough would be what it is.
What I wasn't expecting the Epic install, and I don't know if the retail version will have the. Probably,
doubt it.
Probably not.
Yeah,
probably
it's
not.
probably just the reviewable,
Yeah.
but it has like an epically long install that tells you the entire backstory of Devil May Cry while it's installing.
Does?
Yeah.
Really?
That's cool.
Well, maybe they would
like
do
recap
that.
you on everything and like yeah. And on the One Up Show a few weeks ago, I
That makes me nervous that it's just not for the review.
well, but okay, and I'm curious. I really want to play the 360 version because we don't have that yet. This is the PS3 version, and after this epic install of like 45 minutes, the loading times in the game are almost imperceptible. Like crazy things like
awesome.
you're in a giant outdoor environment that's beautiful, and you go inside like a building, and you're instantly in this ornately detailed, huge interior environment with no loading at all. Which is like I'm curious how that's going to work if you're playing like an Xbox Live arcade unit with no hard drive. I don't. We'll see. You know?
Control.
And I also want to apologize. I want to apologize to this game because on the One Up Show I kind of dissed its story and its cutscenes. Like I still think the story is mostly bullshit, but the storytelling and the cutscenes a lot better than I expected.
Well, I mean, I saw it like a month ago. We just did the One Up Show
Right.
segment, and I was down on this game from day one. I was like, it's just another. It looks like high res Devil May Cry. From what I've seen the last month, no
and
way.
also like
That thing
I
looks
kept
awesome.
thinking I feel like this is the first character action game, next gen character action game from Japan I've ever played. I think that is true. It really hasn't been. Not really. I mean, you can't count like 99 Nights, and we haven't really. We haven't really played a character action game, or even the new Dynasty Warriors that looks like a real, from the ground up next gen game with great art and
Action game. No, yeah, you're right.
the graphics are phenomenal. I mean, and this is after
if you
this is after playing Uncharted. This is after playing Burnout in the last month. Like,
yeah, if you have not seen this game in a while, what I would do is go to Game Videos and download. Like, they have like tons of footage from about a month ago. Like I said, I keep saying, a month ago we saw it, and the videos are awesome.
I mean, it's a little inconsistent from area to area. Some look better than others.
That's with any game.
That's to be expected, but overall, the visuals
knock your socks off.
knock my socks off.
And the boss battles seem pretty epic, like classic Devil May Cry style.
Yeah, so
Something to look forward to.
It's going to be a good beginning of the
something
year.
to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, what? So you have Burnout, you have
Devil May Cry.
Smash Brothers.
We're hearing Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden. I'm hearing Ninja Gaiden's earlier
than you
07.
thought. Yeah,
Earlier, wait.
I'll tell you one thing. I can't wait to see Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden go.
it's going to be a good fight.
That's going to be fun to see.
Good fight. I'm excited for both of them. I'm a big fan of.
But
both.
it's good that, like you said, we don't really have any really crazy action games
Yeah.
for this generation. So
We got the scorecard right here for this holiday season's big fight.
I guess
That would
Heavenly
be-
Sword would be it.
Oh, that would be it. Yeah.
That would be
It's
the
different.
NPDs. So if you don't go anywhere, when we come right back, we'll dig into this scorecard, the NPDs, as well as all sorts of news stuff, VGA wrap-ups, some Activision stuff around guitar stuff, and, of course, another reviewers and marketers indiscretions story.
Yay.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
Sierra Entertainment presents Time Shift, an intense action-packed first-person shooter for the Xbox 360, PC, and PS3. Armed with the experimental beta suit, you alone are able to slow, stop, and reverse the flow of time. Lead the uprising to victory by mastering time to become the ultimate weapon. Visit www.timeshiftgame.com for more details.
All right, we're back and ready to get into the news, the MPDs, but let me give a quick shout out for our representative, Mr. Shane Bettenhausen, in the Buzz contest.
Oh,
which
yeah.
we-
I'm going to kick everyone's ass. I've even explained why I'm going to kick everyone's ass. Because my competitor is Michael Donahoe. He's a little kid, doesn't know anything.
Okay, that's one.
And who's
Jeff Green.
again? He is my real competition because he's old and he knows a lot.
You know
Okay.
what? I have to say, I really wouldn't bet on Shane because we played Smarty Pants for some news thing, local news.
Didn't go
And, I demolished him. And I had never played the
what
game.
were the categories we had? Sports.
Art, entertainment.
We had
and
no entertainment.
sports.
We had 2 art and 2 sports.
Sports.
I
The
guess
Cleveland Browns.
I guess what? I won. And guess what? They captured him having to do dances on the TV. It was
All right, so the
hilarious.
upshot of all this is real
enough of
quick
that.
is at contests.oneup.com. There's a banner that's for the Buzz contest. You click there. There's a little drop-down form where you can pick Shane.
Who's the
or
other person I'm fighting against?
Kathleen. Shane representing One Up Yours, Kathleen representing the One Up Show, Michael Donahoe doing EGM Live, and Jeff Green representing the
What?
Rodeo.
Is
What?
there-
No sports anomaly? You guys are afraid.
It's a 4-player
They're
game.
playing it safe, as you guys
Anyway.
say.
Thank you, Skip. They are playing it
Three
safe.
winners will get a fabulous prize package. One of them gets the SingStar White PS2
That
with,
you
with
hate.
Buzz.
That you so vehemently hate.
What?
You don't remember when you hated that like 4 weeks ago on this podcast?
PS2 or SingStar?
PS2 bundle with SingStar. You don't remember? No,
No, not really.
All right. You were pretty drunk.
Anyway, the other two will get a slim PS2 and the game, so there you go. Go compete. Now, on to NPDs. The PS2, by the way, outselling the PS3 in November. All kinds of crazy hardware stuff. Let me start off with a few stats and then let you guys dig in. First of all, PS3 did not get outsold 2-1 by 360, at least not according to the NPDs. 360 sold 770,000 units during November. PS3 sold 466,000. That's essentially like 1.4-1. It's not anywhere close to 2-1, so kill that rhetoric. But the PlayStation family, well, they got outsold by the Nintendo DS by itself.
No, actually, no, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Actually,
they did.
It was very close.
It was very close, but at one point, but even very close is scary. DS
Well,
1.5
there's a really excellent reason.
billion units.
What's the reason?
The reason are those bundles, the Nintendogs and Zelda bundles, which came out on right at Black Friday, and they're an amazing deal. And if you look at it, there are no DS games in the top 10 games, which is really weird.
Okay, and we'll hit the games in just a second. Now, the other thing, let me do hardware for one more second because I want to get the numbers out.
I think Nintendo kind of like exchanged software sales for hardware sales.
Yeah,
they realized by bundling in these games at this low price, you're losing a game sale with each of those you sell.
But they did get a lot of install base.
They got a huge hardware.
They also, despite the number of people we have, trying to find one, Wii's 981,000
That's
units,
the best month they've ever had,
which is an amazingly good month. And I guess the disappointment, and I'm not, people are going to turn this around however they want to. I'm not trying to bash them. I'm saying that even though it's up a lot, PlayStation 3 at the bottom of the list is still a problem, especially when PlayStation 2 still outsells it. I get it's a better value by the money, but when do developers start coming back to developing PS2 titles?
I didn't look at last month's NPDs or the month before that, or probably the month before that. Is the gap between PS3 and PS2 narrowing at all? Is it kind of like, are the lines crossing?
I know it's not narrowing.
PS2 and PS3?
Yeah, it has to be narrowing, isn't it?
Because PS2 outsold it, but
it fluctuates from month to month. I mean, like PS2 sales, it's as if people want them to go away. I don't
want them to go away, but I would like to see PS3 get ahead of its older brother.
I'm just wondering about the graduation
Here's
rate.
the problem with PS3. You look at the top 10 list of games. There's nothing PS3 exclusive here.
Right.
I'm sorry to jump ahead to the games, but you have Super Mario Galaxy #2 for Wii. You can only buy that on Wii. That's a system seller.
And everything else is multi.
Mass Effect and Halo 3. Those are system sellers for 360. As much as we say Uncharted and Ratchet are great games, they're not going to go out there and convince you by. That's why I'm saying Gran Turismo would have been in that top 10, guaranteed, and that would have jumped that number. I would even say close to doubling it.
The last thing on hardware that is interesting is that PSP is enjoying a really nice resurgence.
You want to know something? I just saw that number. I'm like, wow.
567,000
and
units.
Just wait till God of War and Final Fantasy VII come out.
It's unfortunate, though. As well as PSP's doing in hardware all around the world ever since the Slimline, the software sales continue to not be there, and it's because of piracy. I mean, people don't really realize just how bad the PSP piracy situation is.
So this is because of the way people can get in and change the firmware and then just basically do what they want to with their PSP.
It's pretty bad.
That's the pits. Okay, so we talked about games real quick. The number one selling game for November 2007 was the 360 version of Call of Duty 4. Congratulations to
I was hoping Mario would beat it, but
congratulations to the Infinity Ward guys, because that's pretty awesome. PS3 version also came in at number 7, so between the two of them, they have a cool 2 million units sold in November. That's pretty awesome.
Impressive.
Deserved.
Super Mario, like you said, Brian, Super Mario Galaxy came in second, 1.1 million.
Very respectable.
Deserved.
And Assassin's Creed, almost a million coming in and blowing away the PS3 version, the 360 version of Assassin's Creed.
Big congratulations to Ubisoft's marketing department.
Yes.
As well as Ubisoft Montreal.
Well played.
And this does guarantee a sequel. Which is good, because I'm not the biggest fan of Assassin's Creed, but I like the potential, I like the framework, and I think the sequel is going to be awesome.
Cool. Hopefully they'll read the criticisms and not that perfect
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely cool. And then something, following up on what we were just talking about a minute ago.
How weird do you think this is?
Guitar Hero 3 for the PS2. Right. It's not weird at all. That's where, first of all, it's where the series started.
I find it weird that the PS2 and Wii versions are here and the 360 is not. Don't you find that weird? I find that weird.
Well, that's because it's been out long enough that
yeah, but it's still huge, and it's still it's like a Christmas gift game,
Maybe, I guess.
That is weird.
Rock Band's not on here. So, I don't know. So anyway, We Play with Remote is number 5.
Yuck.
Oh my God.
Mass Effect, which we found out has now peaked over 1 million.
Which is good
total.
for them, because remember, Jade Empire did not sell very well, even though it was a good game.
And it didn't
sell well.
have nearly the marketing of like a Halo.
And look at Mass Effect. So congratulations to BioWare. It's good that we'll see that trilogy hopefully come through.
Absolutely. So then PS3 Call of Duty 4, Wii Guitar Hero 3, 360 Halo 3, and then finally rounding out the top 10, Assassin's Creed on PS3. Okay. Analysis. What do you think, gentlemen?
Like I said, too bad Gran Turismo didn't come out.
I think we analyzed it on the fly there really quickly.
There are some sad things that aren't here, like Uncharted. It lived up to its title.
I would be interested.
It's
interesting to see what Ratchet did, because I know it came out at the very end of October. Obviously it didn't do 377, which is the number 10 game.
I don't know if we can talk specific numbers on those, but I know that Patrick was batting around numbers that were sub 200,000. Which is, I mean, it's horrible to see these PS3 exclusives, but not just that, the ones that are like the titles for Christmas, not selling even. I mean, look, okay, so they sold 466,000 PS3s, and they couldn't get any of those big titles onto the chart. Come on.
So, I mean,
what's wrong? What's wrong? Why is that happening?
My thinking is, okay, if we just jump ahead now to 2008, November 2008, we're probably going to have Killzone.
Okay.
Probably have Resistance.
Okay.
And probably have maybe Final Fantasy.
One can dream.
Is that? I mean, is that when the numbers flip?
I don't know.
Is that? I mean, those the AAA? I mean, like as much as Ratchet and Uncharted are cool, they don't have the
the Naughty Dog and Insomniac stuff never really
jumps
blew the world away.
Well, they used to sell 1 million copies on PS2,
but that would take months. Those games, they would advertise jazz for months.
There is the thing, much like PSP, people buy the hardware and don't buy games right away because there's other things you can do. It comes with Spider-Man. You can download games. You can play your old games, some of them, depending on your console.
Okay.
But I mean, it's very unfortunate that Uncharted didn't do better.
I think that the turning point for this system will be in the spring when Metal Gear comes out and Gran Turismo comes out. If there's a huge jump, if there's not, this system is in major trouble.
No, the video game industry is going to enter a very weird place where every territory has a completely different race. Like Japan, Europe, and America could be completely different by the end of next year. Where
you're basically breaking it down that we would own Japan, 360 would own United States, and Sony would own Europe.
Right, and I've talked about this weirdly. The possibility for a completely fractured global marketplace, which will fuck the entire industry up.
Well, I don't know if it'll fuck the entire industry up. It'll make it unlike anything we have seen before.
Yeah, it'll be weird
because the sorts of games that we talk about, like the Devil May Cries and stuff, will they keep on having that many big budget titles coming out of Japan in that sort of design? If it's a Wii marketplace,
right?
That's a rhetorical question you got to think about for yourself, right?
And then the Wii marketplace in Japan is as lucrative as it is for something like a Wii Play or a Wii Sports or a Wii Fit. We see games like Mario not doing as well there, and games like No More Heroes being colossal bombs.
Mm-hmm. It's that big of a bomb over there.
Didn't make the top 30.
Oof.
Yeah.
Uncharted sold more.
Wow. When you look at these numbers, I think that it does reinforce what Brian was saying about needing the Gran Turismo to come into the marketplace.
I think that was a big mistake. That should have been here.
It's always been such a huge catalyst for people, especially in the PlayStation.
And you can see how much they recognize that when you watch the television ads, where the very first trailer in the PS3 ad is a scene from Gran Turismo, but you can't even get the damn game for the system yet.
Yeah, they don't even tell you. It's not at least in the the one with the Metal Gear montage and Burnout, they say coming next year. They don't even they don't tell you Gran Turismo coming out next year.
But I think the doom and gloom PS3 is misplaced, and it is improving.
I hope it gets picked up because it's a good system. I mean, it's got some quality games.
Right. Well, and we forget PS3 is still in the rising action phase of its life, whereas people wonder.
Yeah, I just think
people wonder. With Wii and 360, where are they in their lifespans? Where is it going to be in 2 years? People are already starting to talk about next Xbox and the games that are being made for it. Whereas
I've been talking about it for a year and a half.
I know you have, but nobody. It'd be silly to start talking about PS4 games right now, but it doesn't seem quite as silly to start talking about next Xbox games.
No, and I could definitely see the Wii having a very, very burnout fast kind of phase to it, because you're seeing
those are the big questions of 2008. Is 2008 Sony's year, and is Wii going to last? I think those are the two big questions of 2008 right there.
Right. Pretty soon we're going to have our Zelda, our Mario, our Smash Brothers. We don't have Animal Crossing yet, but there's a point at which, if it's the Nintendo player, how many more games can Nintendo put out?
The second phase of Nintendo is usually the F-Zeros and the Animal Crossing, Star Fox, and they've been farming that stuff out.
Yeah.
Well, and as the general population starts to pick up high-def displays, how accepting are they going to be of the Wii?
Because I don't know. Because on paper, there's no way that Sony shouldn't dominate 2008.
Right.
Between Metal Gear, Killzone, Little Big Planet, Resistance, then the third-party stuff. You have, the Grand Theft Auto. So you have those big, huge games that some we don't. Infamous may be something big. There's a lot of stuff we don't know about. Gran Turismo.
Yep.
On paper, SOCOM. If this is not their year, I don't know what is. And I mean, I look at the lineup. I'm like, see Mario Kart, see Smash Brothers.
What's the Fahrenheit guy's game? Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain.
Oh, what happened to that?
That's like an Alan Wake. They kind of cross each other out. I mean.
Don't
PS3
overlook.
it has to be there next year. It has to be their year.
Don't overlook the power of people buying HD displays. I saw over the weekend in the paper, you can pick up like a Vizio 42-inch HD plasma for like $900.
You can, but you can't guarantee that people are going to watch HD content or know what cables to hook up. I mean, the mass market people, HD is not going to be that important next year.
Okay.
I think it'll start being really important the year after that. But
as people start seeing games like Uncharted and Jax, or I mean, not Jax, but Ratchet and Clank, and they're going to go, wow, that shit looks fucking incredible. I mean, my Wii is cool, but damn, that looks amazing.
But they're not going to care that everything doesn't look like that. I mean, Wii Fit, it's going to sell huge numbers.
I think you're right for first-party Nintendo stuff, but we haven't seen the third parties. Like that's why Jack and Wiki is intriguing, right? Is because Zack and Wiki. It's a third-party game that's doing the Wii the right way.
But nobody's buying.
Nobody else. I mean,
and that's worrisome.
The third-party lineup for Wii. I mean. You might know this is because I'm asked about next year because I'm working on a 2008 feature right now, and the Wii lineup.
It's worrisome, isn't it?
Man, it's frightening.
Is it worrisome because of the stuff that's been announced, or the stuff that we don't know yet?
Both.
They're both.
The combination.
The third-party thing is this is nothing new. Look at N64. Look at GameCube. It sucked.
But it's new to this extent. It's new to the extent that you start to get stuff like Tomb Raider with crazy Wii controls patched into it that's actually worse than it is on other platforms.
That's not going to stop.
Well,
right.
That's going to continue.
And we've talked about this, how the continued success of PlayStation 2 allows Wii to get these ports, and we're just seeing them. Atlas yesterday announced a port of this Japanese RPG called Baroque. That's for PS2 game, and it's coming out simultaneously on the Wii in February, and then they're doing the port. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
I think what gets me so angry about the Wii is I play something like Super Mario Galaxy, and it's so awesome, and I see the potential of the system, and then I see pretty much almost everything else for that system, and I go, oh my God.
And I feel sorry for Christmas, because right now someone's mom is going to go to a store, and she should be buying Mario, but Mario might be sold out, so instead her kids get Ninja Bread Man 2 or Anubis, which, you're joking about that, but those games are full-price games for Wii, and they're complete pieces of shit that could, possibly ruin the child's life.
All right, let me take us out of NPD with a couple other quick comments. First of all, a story from The Guardian UK noted that last month PS3 did outsell the Wii in Japan for the first time. You got 183,000 PS3s in November, while Nintendo sold 159 Wiis. That's from Enterbrain numbers. That's actually a big deal. If Gran Turismo has the sort of effect you think it could have in Japan, they could duplicate in that December.
It's
possibly.
True. Yeah.
And Howard Stringer was giving a few comments about the general holiday season. And this quote is interesting because the two ideas he puts together. I'm happy that the Wii seems to be running a bit short of hardware, Stringer said. The PlayStation 3 will come into its own because of its high-end games are infinitely more fun, demanding, and exciting.
I just like that.
What?
You can't be surprised by marketing quotes anymore because they're politicians and they have to say this stuff. But I just think it's funny that he said infinitely.
Yeah,
it's a good thing that they're running out of. It's a good thing that they're running out of hardware to sell. But our games are better anyway. Well, wait a minute. Which is it? If your games are better, you'd be selling your games.
Exactly.
You don't need to say that.
Everybody
anyway.
votes channel.
Everybody votes. And so last but not least on the game issue, Ubisoft did let us know that Assassin's Creed has done outstanding worldwide. 2.5 million units. They expect...
It's huge in Europe.
Not surprisingly, and they expect to sell 5 million units of the game worldwide by the end of the fiscal year. This came in a...
That's ambitious.
That's really huge.
Yeah, that's doubling what they've done already after launch. That's
turning Assassin's Creed into like a quadruple A title.
Yeah, that's a lot of sales. I mean,
sales.
Hey, if they can make it, God bless them. This came in a call where they raised their fiscal guidance. It was an investor's call. But the other thing that they noted was that several titles are being delayed into the latter part of next year. That would be Tom Clancy's End War, Far Cry 2, and a little dagger to me, Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway being significantly delayed.
But you think about it, maybe the success of Assassin's Creed and how much money they made have allowed them to push those games back.
It's funny you should say that. Do you know the quote that I have?
No.
So CEO Yves Guillemot was talking about this very subject, and I was a little worried because he beats to death the idea of we have these regular sequel franchise and they're a source of high profitability both in short and long term. This makes me hopeful. He says, drawing on its internal development capabilities, Ubisoft is currently in an ideal position to continue to develop numerous new creations. So that's cool. If they're taking the money that they're making when they have these big hits that they come back to and plowing it into doing new stuff, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Definite thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean, look at like games like N-War. I mean, that game is all voice. Like, you can play the entire game just with your voice. Let that thing sit in the cooker a little bit longer. Make sure that's like perfect. I mean, because if it doesn't work, it's going to be a disaster.
You don't want life signs.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I applaud them for delaying stuff that obviously needs to be delayed.
Do you mean the awesome game
Lifeline?
Lifeline.
Yeah.
You know what's great about that game?
That she responds when you cuss at her?
No, and that game is awful.
Oh my god! Sadly, I reviewed that game, and I just remember I was like, I didn't
turn
even,
left.
I didn't even like, yeah.
Turn left. Damn it! Turn left. You don't have to cuss.
That
at
game's
me.
pretty
Turn
awful.
around, bitch.
That game, as I played it, is pretty awful. What's amazing is that game got almost a perfect score in Weekly Famitsu.
I think we gave
What?
it 4.
No, wait. In Weekly Famitsu?
Got 10s.
Really? Because of being so creative?
Must have been.
That's interesting. I mean,
Oh
they were.
man, what? What do you want me to do? I said, turn around, bitch.
So after being raked last week for bringing up the VGAs, I thought I'd go back to the well again this week because I
you got in
such
trouble?
strong
I gotta say,
trouble.
I tried to watch the Spike VGAs. I sat down and I made it 5 minutes in.
All right, I watched the whole thing.
Did you really?
Yes.
So first of all, let me just throw a couple quick things out there.
I'm going to read it. Watch it.
Our guy, BioShock, Game of the Year, Xbox 360 game, and Best Original Score. And the other big winner was Rock Band, which took home Best Rhythm Game.
Hey,
and
it would have been
Best
cool if
Soundtrack.
Ken Levine could have spoke about it.
So that's the other thing I have right here. So I'll skip right to that right now. And let me.
Hey, before you do that, what game won the Mountain Dew Best Game Fueled by Dew?
Hold on.
Just curious.
It was, it was Halo.
Oh, okay. just curious.
I mean, the best award we could buy.
Are you implying something?
The best award bought by advertising.
Whatever.
We imply nothing. Infer what you will.
So Ken Levine didn't even get to say thanks.
So
This really sucks. Do you want to tell the story?
all right, yeah. I mean,
You tell the story, and I have the response.
Okay, so first of all, I read on Sam Kenny's blog, that he was there, and he said that the Gamecock guys got up there in their rooster outfits or whatever they're freaking looking like, and basically hoarded the mic, so Ken Levine never even got a chance to speak.
To like rush the stage.
So it actually got me to watch this, and it was absolutely uncomfortable, and it really angered me that this industry is so much about get this license out, crap it out, get this sequel out, let's crap it out. And this guy and this company had the balls to go and make an original property. They were successful. Let the guy, he got awarded the game because it should be one of the games a year, and don't even let him speak because Gamecock had to get up there and promote themselves for they haven't proven anything
Yeah,
yet.
like
Nothing.
They
Read
really,
the response.
all right.
Because I have a response to the
Well,
response.
let me say
It angered
Let me
me a
say
lot.
something else. Is Andrew and I argued about whether to even talk about the VGAs, and my whole point about talking about it last week was that we need to have good award shows, and it pisses me off that we keep going back to award shows and having other people's media, whether it be movie stars or TV stars or whatever, doing the stuff. So then finally, when a guy like Ken Levine, who could be one of our rock star guys you can put in front of people and put a really good face to the business, can't even get up there and say a word, that's a real problem. And so co-founder of Gamecock, Mike Wilson, apologized this week. He said, I'd personally like to sincerely apologize to the BioShock team and Ken Levine in particular for Gamecock infringing on their spotlight at this weekend's VGA Awards show. He goes on later on, he says, it totally sucks that Ken Levine didn't get to speak after making such a fantastic game.
You missed the best part of the quote. The award acceptance they interrupted was the last one we would have wanted to interrupt. Most addictive game fueled by Mountain Dew would have been a wonderful choice. Well, why didn't you do that then?
Yeah.
Why did you wait?
Am I to believe that this guy was not privy to the decision to rush the stage?
How about this? Win an award.
Yeah.
Win an award.
How about make a game?
Make a game that deserves to be win an award. Then get up there in your stupid outfit and say something.
I mean, I've met these Gamecock guys, and they seem like nice guys.
They are nice
but I
guys,
gotta
but that
say,
was just
the way
wrong.
they're promoting their company through things like this and through doing a lot of editorials in other magazines. Yeah, how about making a game, dude?
And,
Seriously.
and I apologize for getting loud on the podcast, but this just was really, it really angered me. And I felt like, these guys, when you're making an original property, you work so hard to get it to be successful, and they did it. BioShock did it. Let them have their moment in the spotlight. And it was awful.
I mean,
I was embarrassed.
As just a outsider and a gamer, it seems to me Gamecock, it's all talk. It's all just like, we're crazy. We're we're unpredictable. We're wearing chicken suits. But it's all about games. Until you've made games that people care about, like, how about you let Ken Levine
like I said,
okay,
you want to get up there, win an award.
Let's not take the shit completely out of Gamecock, because I will come to Wilson's defense on this. Is he is a guy who does not take the industry rule set as a given that he has
then
to follow.
He shouldn't be there.
He
shouldn't be at the event.
Okay, that's one argument, and he does. I'm willing. That's fine. He did good ideas with Gathering. He has the right idea here, but what he needs to do is, for a guy who thinks outside the box, he needs to do better than apologize to Ken Levine. He needs to give Ken Levine that stage that he took away from him back, because he deserves it. And however it is, look, you have marketing guys. You come up with crazy shit. You figure out some way to make up to Ken the fact that you took his moment away from him.
Super Bowl commercial. Perfect.
Well, I don't know if they can afford that, but give it back to him. Give it back to him. Don't apologize. Give it back to him.
Even rushing the stage during the final awards speech, that dates back to 1991 MTV Video Music Awards, when Beastie Boys rushed the stage on REM. And the REM had already won like 5 awards and had gotten to speak.
But these guys, I mean, some of you guys had to go to the Promised Lot, right?
I know what you're talking about.
I'm not surprised, and I'm not mad that they would choose to do something like this.
They should have done. They should have done the Mountain Dew.
They should have done the Mountain Dew.
It's like what he said. Like, that would have been fun.
Or you know what? When one of the the Hollywood talent was talking or something, got up and grabbed the mic and made.
That's not
like that.
Let's not give the VGA Awards more legitimacy than it deserves.
I will say
it's a Ken BioShock thing.
Yes,
now I will say
absolutely.
That's the respect.
Shane said he stopped watching after 5 minutes. I will say, compared to past award shows for video games, it was better, and it was nice to see that even though they had Tony Hawk at the event to introduce a music group, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I guess Tony Hawk won the individual sports award, because that's what usually happens. Whoever's there promote will win the award. And actually, it was nice to see Skate get recognized.
Oh, yeah.
And it was funny. Rob and Big, the guys from MTV, Rob's a professional skateboarder. He's in the game, and Big got up there and was talking trash to the president of Neversoft about them winning, which I thought was a funny event. I think actually the best part of the whole show.
Before we leave Spike TV, I think it's lame that all the trailers barely show any gameplay.
No. My favorite is world premiere Little Big Planet. I saw that a year ago. World premiere Borderlands. I think I saw that 3 months ago.
The best one is the world premiere of TNA Wrestling, which world premiered last year at Spike Awards, because I was there at the taping.
No. The best premiere is Sam Kennedy interviewing Don King on Prize Fighter. You haven't watched that yet?
No, I watched that.
It's ubiquitous. It's globalization of the entire boxing industry.
I'm glad he hasn't lost his mind.
It's awesome. It's so good. All right. Moving right along, Activision, they're getting themselves into several buckets of hot water with Guitar Hero. First, they had the brouhaha over monaural sound in the Wii version. So Game Life, the Game Life blog, which is Wired's blog on Game Stuff, is reporting that they're being sued now.
Really?
Class action.
Samuel Livingston of San Diego has started a class action suit against Activision
for being in mono.
Yeah.
Good luck, Sam. Come on.
Yeah,
not for being in mono. It's for saying it's Dolby Pro Logic Surround on the back of the box. False advertising.
That is false advertising.
Right. Well, he's not actually. No, he's saying he's seeking actual damages, individual restitution, equitable relief, civil penalties, costs, and expenses of litigation, including attorney's fees and all of the relief available on the behalf of those individuals who would not have purchased the Guitar Hero 3 video game and or paid as much for it had they known the truth about the product.
You probably won't have much luck, because most Wii fans, they're probably playing on like a black and white 20 to Zenith.
He's gonna win $17.34.
Really, here's the thing: is that, by the way, Activision has already said that they're offering customers replacement discs at no charge with the fix.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about this, because someone's like standing up to the publishers. There's that element to it.
But they've already won. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, they have already.
Do you want the game or not? If you want the game, that's great. They're going to send you the right game. They screwed up. Maybe they knew about it ahead of time, and if they did, that's bad. Obviously, that's bad on them. But
it's kind of reassuring to me to see like gamers being more empowered and willing to stand up and say something.
I'm cool with that.
Take some action, even though it's probably misplaced here.
On a bigger a bigger problem that
This is
Activision
why
has.
I can't believe this story.
I alluded to this on last week's podcast, and I was surprised to see it like 3 days later come out.
I'm surprised. We've asked Activision for comment, which at the time of this taping we have not yet received. However, Harmonix issued a press release that detailed the objection of Activision to a patch that would allow the PS3 wireless guitar that comes with Guitar Hero 3 to work in Rock Band. And apparently Sony is respecting the objections that Activision has raised and not releasing a patch that's already been through approval, already been through certification, and is sitting there ready to be dropped on the PlayStation Network. But they can't or won't because Activision objects. And why would you not want your guitars to work with Rock Band?
Because there's a massive hissy fit between Harmonix and Red Octane.
That's really what it boils down to. It's really stupid. Sony actually responded to us. Sony said this is a matter that needs to be resolved between Harmonix, MTV, and Activision regarding intellectual property at SCEA. We, of course, want this resolved and to ensure the best possible gaming experience. We encourage MTV, Harmonix, and Activision to continue to discuss among themselves as they have been so there can be an amicable resolution.
Sony's kind of
in
like
the best interest of the customer.
So
the spineless dad.
Let me just get a quick recap here. So on PS3, you can use Rock Band controller to play Guitar Hero 3, but you can't use Guitar Hero 3 controller to play Rock Band.
Right.
And what about on 360?
They both are compatible on 360.
Yeah, on 360 it works fine because it's just a wireless controller.
Okay.
However, as I said last week, the rumor I had heard, and I can't substantiate this or say where I heard it from, is that if Red Octane had their way, they would make it to where the 361 the Rock Band guitar cannot work on the 360 Guitar Hero 3.
That's some
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
We'd always sort of wondered if the breakup had been ugly.
I guess
it was.
Yeah.
I guess it was.
I don't know what's worse, the Gamecock thing or this. I really don't.
All right. And in online news, we already covered the Burnout Paradise demo. If you haven't already, go grab that sucker off of PSN or 360 Live. Also on 360 Live, we've talked about this before. I know we have several developers who are listening. So there's a new XNA game studio coming. And this is actually very cool because they're actually finally putting in the live tool set so that when you're building your XNA game, you're also going to have access to matchmaking and you'll be able to enable multiplayer gameplay over live.
Why did that take so long?
Fuck, I don't know, dude. Maybe they security precautions. Who are they going to let into it? Who knows? Or just the amount of time it takes to build a tool set. I mean, I don't think this is something that's pretty easy to get a hold of. It's done for hobbyists and students, and so it just took them that long to get to it. I think it's pretty cool. Chris Satchel talked about it in the press release. He said, "This is a goal we had. We accomplished with this new tool set, and best of all, it remains highly accessible to students, hobbyists, and pros alike." So I just think that it's just a matter of how many people they have working on it, that sort of thing.
Well, it's definitely a good thing. I'm just wondering because XNA hasn't that been out for a while?
Years.
Yes, and I understand from Patrick that it will be next year when we're able to actually download these games off of Xbox Live for free that people have made and play them. So that's something to look forward to. That'd be cool. Maybe part of the spring update. In addition to that, you'll have a new contest. The Dream Build Play contest that they already did will be coming back for XNA developers. There's also a new one that Molyneux is pushing, which is called the Silicon Mines Warm-Up Challenge. That's based on that's focused on AI development, and the winner is going to get a chance to interview for an internship at Lionhead or Rare. I'd take Lionhead.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Internship one of those two places.
That would be very cool. Let me tell you what, just hanging out with Peter for a month would be fantastic because you always have
talk about a great interview. He's really fun to interview.
I have the coolest conversations when I talk to him. He's just like, very cool. Okay, so on the ugly underside of game journalism, as we dug into last week, this week's story has to do with a suit that's being brought by a PR company against developer. The parties would be Conky Communications, which is a PR firm that does represent several game companies, is suing Perpetual Entertainment, who were developing Gods and Heroes Rome Rising, which they put on hiatus. Then when they put it on hiatus, apparently they left a bill of some $10,675 in outstanding invoices to Conky. But the bigger story here is that Conky is also suing for recovery of bonuses that they would have earned by the game's finishing up and how it performed in previews. There apparently is a typo. We were contacted by Conky, who informed us it wasn't reviews.
Well,
it was,
Sean Koppinen, who is the vice president over at Conky, responded to one of the blogs, I think, was running the story and said it was a simple typo. It wasn't reviews, it was previews.
But let me tell you,
one big typo.
Here's the
huge typo.
But here's the print. The firm claims that they should be paid the full $280,000 in bonuses as a result of what they deem successful work in promoting Gods and Heroes. Quote, Conky's public relation campaign was successful in creating pre-release buzz around Gods and Heroes and in convincing previewers to write positive previews about the game. So,
regardless if it's reviews or previews, it's still...
I fixed it to previews.
Yeah.
Regardless. These companies are being paid to attempt to influence.
Is that a surprise to anybody?
No, I'm just saying
is it a surprise to any of us in this room?
No, I'm saying that in the scheme of timing, that this sort of story unfortunately adds another layer of mortar to the foundation, and it's ugly. It's ugly.
As you know, Brian and I have both been previews editors at EGM, and you know, I can tell you that many times after an issue comes out and a PR person will see a preview we've done of a game, you know, we're very honest in our previews, very transparent. We don't bullshit.
But it's tough. I mean,
today I just had a PR person call me because we were trying to get an exclusive. Going, I don't know if I can give this to you guys because I can't have a negative preview going out, and I'm like.
Yeah,
they're already like, you know, ready to, you know, pull it out just in case. I mean, we deal with this every day.
All the time.
Look, it's got to be tough. Now, for a moment. It's got to be tough if you're a PR person trying to represent a game because you've got to try and get good spin for it, right?
That's your job.
So that's your job. So how would you go? What's the right way to do it?
Just let the product speak for itself.
Yeah.
If you know what? I'm tired of people going, well, you know, if it's not a good game, it's not a good game, then don't show it.
Yeah.
Then don't show it to people.
I've had to tell PR people, especially if it's a PR person who you actually like care, you know, you have some sort of relationship with them outside of just profession, like you think they're a nice person. I've told people like, hey, I know you think this game's really good.
It's not.
But it's not. And
right.
you need to tell your bosses that you shouldn't be expected to tell people this is like a AAA game when it's actually a piece of shit.
So let me jump back to something Brian said. I agree with what you're saying in a larger scale, which is if it's not ready to show, don't feel the obsession to stick to a schedule.
Yeah, and
don't show the damn thing.
And you also have to, I mean, there's a difference between seeing a game for the first time ever, where it's like a first look. So
yeah.
You're going to treat it differently than it's 6 months down the line, a hands-on preview, or like maybe a couple months before it comes out in review. I mean, you have to trust the journalist that he knows the difference between a product that's being unveiled for the first time to a game that's basically 2 months away from shipping.
I mean, you'll see games in really early states, and they want you to tell them, like, well, how good is this? How good? What's it going to get?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
the game's a mess. I don't know what
the vision it looks cool, but I mean, who knows? I mean, how many times have we seen a game that has a great, unbelievable vision, and then there's like 9 months later, like, oof, guess they didn't meet it.
And there's degrees of quality in how these games are presented. I mean, I got to tell you, from having been at the last Sierra thing where they showed Prototype, that game showed fantastic. It looked awesome. They're showing Prototype. It's a really well put together presentation. It's smart guys.
Great trailer to VGAs.
Great trailer. They're able to communicate the thing very well. And at the same presentation, they showed Wet.
Yeah. Has that game been revealed yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
And I'll just leave it at that.
Just leave it at that.
All right. Speaking of other games that are upcoming, and who knows where the hell this one's going, Command & Conquer franchise is going to try and go down the first-person shooter route again.
Tiberium.
Yeah, Command & Conquer Tiberium. So not many folks will remember it was a PC title, Command & Conquer Renegade, where they tried to do like an online multiplayer, real-time strategy shooter hybrid sort of thing. It was okay, I guess. This is going to be from the EA LA studio. It's a squad-based shooter. Surprise, it's set 11 years after the Third Tiberium War, which I didn't know when that was, but apparently it's the same time as CNC3. Why they didn't just say it's set in the same world as Command & Conquer 3?
Okay,
I don't know.
I haven't seen this game yet, and like, you know, I know Command & Conquer has a lot of fans, and I think I know somebody who's even working on this game, but it's disheartening for me to see EA do what appears to be a clone of Rainbow Six, because
it's GRAW.
Or is it GRAW?
I think it's more like GRAW. Maybe I'm wrong.
I thought it was more like Rainbow Six.
It's Star Wars Commando.
Republic
Commando.
Yeah.
It's Republic Commando. Right?
I think.
I mean, the CVG magazine described it as Battlefield meets GRAW meets Rainbow Six Vegas.
Meets 9 other things.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's
I love that this meets that.
But Command & Conquer is not a valuable IP for the console.
Hold on. This might tell you also where it's going. Starring action hero Richard Vega, an GDI ex-field commander who comes out of retirement to lead a raid, rapid assault and intercept deployment squad in battle against the bad guys.
I mean, it could be.
Does it say the bad guys?
Well, we did.
I mean, it could be totally badass. But you're a big CNC fan, Garnet. Is this the expansion to the universe that you're looking for?
Is this something that you want?
I don't know. I think we have to see it before we judge it.
Maybe.
See it before.
I'd sure rather see Ghost first. Please bring me Ghost.
StarCraft Ghost?
Please bring me Ghost. In other news, Blizzard's not going to bring me Ghost, but what they are apparently going to bring me is, surprise, a new massively multiplayer online game. And they're calling it a next-gen massively multiplayer online game. Whether that means console or not, God only knows. It does mean that it's not an expansion pack.
I
WoW.
don't think they're going to make it for console.
Did they say existing IP or new IP? Or they didn't say?
They didn't say.
They didn't say. This is really strange how it
Now,
came
if
up,
they like
actually.
money, they'll make it Diablo. Right?
Or
absolutely.
StarCraft.
They have
Or-
lots of ways to
or
make money.
Rock and roll racing online.
Lost Vikings.
Anyway, this all came about from a forum poster at the WoW forums asking about a job posting, and finally on the second page, their community rep gave this response: "No, it's an unannounced next-gen MMO, and that doesn't mean an expansion for World of Warcraft." And since then, of course, the 25,000 pages of speculation.
But
Let's go through the options. World of StarCraft, World of
Probably-
Diablo, World of Warcraft 2.
My guess is this: Diablo 3, we know, was over 50% down the pipeline when Titan Quest came out. They looked at where they were. They looked at the development teams that they had, and they said, this isn't coming together the way we wanted it to. And
reset. Project was reset.
Project was reset, and with World of Warcraft being very successful, but the desire to bring out a higher quality graphics engine, a richer experience, all that kind of stuff, and having seen what happened with EverQuest 2 and how it split the player base, what better way to go than to back to your strength in fantasy role playing, back to your strength in Diablo, and make Diablo the massive.
That's what I think, too.
Because they're already catering to the StarCraft guys with StarCraft 2.
Exactly.
So keep WoW going, get StarCraft 2, and then keep your
three pillars.
trifecta.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the three pillars of Blizzard. It's the way it's been always. I mean,
And you know what? As a console guy, I just hope
would
they give
a
us a
Diablo
chance.
come to console, do you think?
I doubt it.
Diablo 1 came to PlayStation.
I would be surprised. Now he says I would be surprised if this actually wasn't a console MMO. I think this is a console
Really?
MMO, and I think Diablo is perfect for it because it's an action RPG.
Yeah. If I would say if Blizzard doesn't make this for consoles, they are idiots.
And by the way,
I wouldn't be that mean. I would say that it'd be a weird choice.
let me add another coin to the pile. It's now Activision Blizzard, and Activision knows how much money there is in the console games, and they know how much money there is in their franchise, and they like to come back to their franchises a lot. It's a Diablo MMO for 360 and PS3.
Tony Hawk, Tony Hawk or Guitar Hero massive multiplayer. That's what I'm doing. That's that's my prediction.
Two last quick things. Do you know anything about the Parappa creators making a Wii exclusive game, Shane?
Yeah, Mr. Matsuda, he made Parappa. He made lots of good games. And he and Rodney Greenblatt, the illustrator of Parappa, are working together for a new rhythm action game to be published by Majesco in 2008. And I, for one, am pretty excited.
That makes me excited, too.
Exciting, not exciting. Exciting, right?
I'm excited because Jammer Lammy is my favorite music game ever made.
I love Jammer Lammy. That was great.
Best music game ever.
What I thought was also cool was at the end of our news story about this, we brought up, apparently we had an interview with him earlier this year and noted that he wasn't into complicated inputs, so you're not thinking this is going to be overcomplicated with input devices or anything like that. You can maybe use the Wiimote the right way.
I think it'll be subtle and elegant.
But you should also note that this is not Nana Oncha's first Wii game. They made 2 Tamagotchi games for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And then there's this for us to end on.
Wait. I have my tirade. I should do my tirade now. And I think it's a tirade that you can get behind, Garnet.
Is this an official segment now on the show? Shane's tirade?
No.
I don't know. It's awesome. I can see the graphic for it.
Now, last week I had Shane's...
He has his hand up.
Last week I had my very unpopular update on the HD format war.
Jesus. I hope this one goes over better than that.
Yeah, no, I think it will. This one, Garnet. Today I was awoken to have my childhood raped again when Square Enix announced
banned that word.
When Square Enix announced the sequel to Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy IV: The After, which is a terrible title, and B, even worse, because it's for cell phones.
They are cell phone happy.
Remember at TGS when they announced Parasite Eve 3?
Yes, and
for cell phones?
You watched me cry.
Yeah. So this is the story sequel to Final Fantasy IV, where you play as the descendant of Cecil. He lives on the moon. It's an RPG. It comes out in spring, and I'm pissed. I'm really pissed.
Just wait, the next dagger is coming because they're going to decide they can do Vagrant Story again as a cell phone game.
But there is a possible silver lining to this Dark Cloud.
Yes.
And that is...
Are you going to tease me again with a potential console version?
No.
Oh.
Different. So a big... what do they call the spectrum? The wireless, the cellular...
700 megahertz auction? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
the upcoming auction. Apparently, NTT Docomo, the Japanese phone provider that makes the best phones ever, that makes phones that look better than DS.
They're bidding on the American Spectrum?
They're going to be bidding on the American Spectrum, which could mean
I'm backing NTT Docomo.
toss your iPhone out and buy the phone that can play Final Fantasy IV Part 2.
I would back them.
I'm not confirming they're buying it or they're going to win the auction, but
It's possible.
It's possible.
We could do like a what's the Tecmo horse race game?
Gallop Racer.
We could do Gallop Racer and put like different names on the horses.
I
and
think I'd
see who
rather
wins.
play Parasite even Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy.
All right.
So yeah, that's my tirade.
done with rants.
That
and
was a
then-
good tirade.
That was a good. That was a good
See?
I,
tirade.
I
You were
apologize.
worried.
I was worried.
And this one might actually put you on a
Well,
bigger
wait, as long as I'm
tirade.
saying rumors, I might as well say, you hear the rumor that at CES, Warner Brothers is going to announce that they're dropping HD DVD support to become
That is the big rumor.
Blu-ray, and that would end the war.
That is the rumor, although
Yeah.
I'd say it's
They canceled all of their upcoming releases for both, including the release of Led Zeppelin's The Song Remains the Same that was supposed to come out this week.
Oh, man.
what I read on the AVS forums was that people were a little perplexed and upset by that because they were like, wait, their HD DVD versions of their movies are better than their Blu-ray versions. So who knows? We'll see what
What are you
happens. Speaking of CES, I'll be at CES, and we're going to do a show. I get back like halfway through Thursday of that week, so we'll do like
You're not going to stick around for the porn convention?
No.
No.
And then there's this. The online word of the year from Merriam-Webster's dictionary
You've
would
been
be
waiting for this.
woot
When did Merriam-Webster
With zeros.
with zeros.
Yeah,
with zeros,
when-
yes. It actually is with zeros.
When
Woot.
did Merriam-Webster decide to just become a mockery of the English language in order to get...
What's their formal definition of it?
It's long and complex and explains leet speak, actually.
Yeah, I actually didn't even write that. That part wasn't even worth writing down. It's just the
No,
fact
but
that
like,
they made it.
remember last year's new word was truthiness, Stephen Colbert's fake word that he termed. So I'm pretty
It was
sure...
kind of cute.
I'm pretty sure the Merriam-Webster, they're just looking to get picked up
They're trying to increase
for
their street cred.
street cred.
Well, Merriam-Webster President John Morse said this about the choice. It really shows interesting things going on in language. It's a term that arrived only because we're now communicating electronically with each other. Yeah, we've just started doing it. It's fantastic.
I'm calling for a ban on from all future One Appears podcasts.
Actually, if you want to have a good laugh, go to the news story we have on it, and there's a link there that goes to
I
CBS
don't think I've ever
News.
used it.
Woot?
Yeah.
I've probably typed it in an AIM window.
I'm sure you
it's
have.
something you type. It's not something you say unless you're like making fun of people who say that.
Lolcats is my word for
like
next year.
Darn It, who wanted to open the show in a completely ridiculous way
With lolcats
with
garbage.
lolcats.
I was vetoed.
Yes.
On the
Yes, you
boards,
were.
tell Garnet how over lolcats is.
There's other, we didn't really touch on the boards this week, but there is a really good thread on the
Oh,
One Up
yeah.
board.
Yeah.
I just gotta say,
yeah.
it's the best thread I've probably seen on that board in years.
Well done, everyone,
Well
especially
done.
the guy who made the Back to the Future version.
I liked the Harry Potter one.
Harry Potter's
Nah, the Back to Future was the best.
I think y'all are all amateurs. I still haven't seen a good one yet.
You didn't like the Back to the Future one?
Back to the
It's
Future one is
clever.
okay.
Very clever.
It's
It's very
okay.
clever.
I'm not really impressed. I'm not really
All right.
impressed yet.
Hard to impress.
Anyway, so the follow-up to that was go to the link to CBS News there, because on the CBS News site they have a absolutely hilarious how for parents to understand the things their kids are saying thing, and those things are always fucking hilarious, right?
Man.
Anyway, next week coming up, we're gonna have a regular show, and Mr. Jeff Kanata from the Totally Rad Show will be joining us. So Andrew and I were talking around this idea also of doing a best of show. He suggested that
like
maybe
a clips episode?
yeah, so he suggested I throw it out to the audience and let them
Do the work for us?
yeah.
That's how I pitched it to you. I didn't
Yeah.
want the listeners to.
No,
hear
I
about
like that idea. If you guys want us to do a clip show, tell me what you want clipped in it. Tell me how bad you want a clip show, and I'll think about it. It's a big pain in the neck. It's
We'll
a lot of
find it.
work.
We'll
That's a
find it.
pain in the balls,
Dude, it is a
man.
huge potential pain in the neck. So, I mean, if you really, really want it, yeah, maybe I'll go through the effort of doing it.
Well, it's
and
either
maybe
that
I
or
won't.
nothing over the break, right?
No, I'll do shows.
Maybe
I did shows last
maybe you should do
Christmas.
like a clip show where you
Yeah.
have when you had all the guests on, like you've had good developers on. You like.
Dude,
a
are you
developer
kidding me? If I
special.
buy a couple of good bottles of hooch, somebody will come in on the
Maybe
couple
we
days
should-
after Christmas.
Maybe
and
we
we'll
should
talk.
make an out of context show where we just pick clips of dumb things we've all said over the year, and
I don't know if we have
fun.
enough tape
God.
for mine. Anyway, that's it. Boards.oneup.com.
My show, goddammit.
I believe it was It's My Goddamn.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Screwed it
right.
up.
Anyway, happy holidays for Brian, Andrew, Shane. This is Garnet. We'll see you next week. Until then, we're out.
Thank your holiday stars for Geometry Wars Galaxies, exclusively on Nintendo Wii and DS systems. Immerse yourself in the addicting 2D shooter with all new multiplayer modes, including co-op and versus, new enemies, more than 60 unique levels of gameplay, the all-new battle drone, leaderboards, and more. Look for Geometry Wars Galaxies on shelves now at your local retailer.